KNUS Denver.
To be the man, you gotta beat the man, and I'm saying, woo, right here. Fight the good fight, everybody. I'm the man. Every day.
The voice of the people.
Fight the good fight, everybody. It's your only way.
This is Peter Boyles on News Talk 710 KNUS.
It is. Good morning, everyone. Bang. Straight up 4:59. Friday morning, the 20th morning of June 2014. I'm Peter Boyles. Good to have everyone here. 710 KNUS Weather Center weather on a Friday. 87 the high. 88 tomorrow. 85 Sunday. Monday. 80. 82 Tuesday. 85 Wednesday. Summertime.
Beautiful.
Tommy's here. We got a packed house. Couple of big stories to go over. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Peter. 3 people were wounded last night in a shooting in the parking lot of Red Rocks Amphitheater following a rap concert. Red Rocks was locked down while police searched for the shooter, who is still at large. The wounded fled the scene in their vehicle after the incident, but were later found at 6th Avenue in Calumet. They were transported to the hospital. Cars at Red Rocks were searched before being permitted to leave, with the last car leaving only about 2 hours ago. This news is brought to you by Autotracker.com. With Auto Trader alerts, they'll let you know when the price drops on a car that you've been searching for. They'll even send you cars that match what you're looking for. Sign up for text alerts to Autotrader.com. Former Arapahoe County Sheriff Pat Sullivan was sentenced to 15 months in prison yesterday for violating his probation in a meth for sex case. Sullivan told the court, "I have a drug problem, and today I ask for your forgiveness." Firefighters with cadaver dogs continue their search for a person believed to have died in the explosion of a home in Thornton. The body is thought to be somewhere beneath the smoldering wreckage. The blast leveled the home, blew out neighbors' windows, and scattered debris more than a block away from the home's Monroe Drive location. American Idol star Ryan Seacrest is opening a new broadcast studio at Children's Hospital in Aurora. Seacrest says it'll mark the launch of a new closed-circuit TV channel at the hospital, which is designed to help the healing process for kids. It's a partnership between Seacrest's Foundation and the Children's Hospital Colorado Foundation. Passenger traffic at DIA dropped more than 1% last year, but revenue increased nearly 6%. Moody's Investors Service has upgraded DIA to stable from last year's negative rating. Colorado's auto dealers are reporting a nearly 13% increase in new vehicle registrations for May compared to last year. That means a better than 7% rise for the first 5 months of 2014 compared to the year before. Colorado's numbers outpace the national figures. And on Wall Street yesterday, the S&P closed at an all-time high for the second time in 2 days and recorded its fifth gain in 5 days, rising 2.5 points to 1,959. The Dow rose 15 points, but the Nasdaq slipped 3.5. Futures point to a flat opening. And there you have it. Peter?
All right, sir. Good morning, everyone. It is 2 minutes after the hour. And as you know, there was before we go to a guest on a different topic, but as you know, we have talked at great length on this radio show about the lack of weapons of mass destruction. And a story drops yesterday that it's the OMG moment. Oh, my God, they found weapons of mass destruction. Look, I'm telling you, I was up late last night reading all about what is being claimed. It's nonsensical. Do you really believe that after fine-tooth combing for years, the Bush administration, the CIA, military outfits, everybody else has fine-tooth combed for years, taxpayers have subsidized all of that, and ISIS suddenly appears, and now there's a factory full of WMDs that somehow our country missed after going through Iraq with a fine-tooth comb? Baloney. Look at this for what it is. I think there's more behind this insanity, and then I have no idea. But already we've gotten all of our emails and off-air phone calls. We'll go into the topic well this morning, but I call BS on this real quick. And watch your step this morning. In the meantime, we're going to talk. Please say good morning and welcome to 710 KNUS. Doug Giles is our guest, and we're going to talk about the Washington Redskins. And first of all, Doug, good morning. Welcome to the radio show. Thank you for being here, and welcome on air, brother. Thank you.
Peter, what's happening?
You. That's the word, you.
I'm barely happening. I don't know how you do it morning after morning. I stay up too late at night, so it's that old rock and roll lifestyle that that I can't shake.
Yeah, my check doesn't bounce. Remember that?
Exactly.
We were talking yesterday, reflecting back on old radio days, and my mentor is a guy named Bob Lee. And Bob Lee said he told a great story about working as a young kid growing up in the business. And he knew the place was rocky, right? He knew the place was going to be in trouble. And the general manager's talking to Bob head on about everything's wonderful, because these guys are worried about how good their paychecks are going to be. He said he looks through the glass. There's a guy in there wrenching out the Pitney Bowes machine because they hadn't paid the bill. He said he knew at that point this game was over. So that's me and you, man. A little background, Doug, of yourself so people get an idea of who you are.
Yeah, I've been writing for townhall.com for over a decade. I have my own website, clashdaily.com now, which is a mosh pit of edgy news and great opinion pieces. And we've been up, about 2 years, Peter, and we're doing about 2 to 6 million page views a month now.
Cool.
It's one of the top conservative websites. And my greatest claim to fame is that my wife hasn't divorced me and kicked me in the balls and told me to go to Hades, and my two daughters, Hannah Giles, my two daughters, Hannah Giles, is the one who came up with the investigative scheme into Acorn, wore the stripper heels and brought it down and saved us $8.5 million, collapsing Obama's claim to fame.
Yeah, I love you,
and
man.
My youngest daughter is Regis Giles of girlsjustwannahaveguns.com, a huntress and Second Amendment activist at the ripe old age of 22.
Yeah, she's been on the radio show with us a lot. I love your family, and I love what you said. I don't know how you survived all these years in the media business never being divorced. It's like I have some friends going through some bad times, right? I said, "Oh, man, you got to do that, and then you got to go to rehab. Then you got to go live in the double."
Yeah, I don't want to get divorced because I already know what it feels like to be in a sucky relationship. I've got to suffer 2 more years with Obama.
Let's begin. Doug Giles is here. Like I said, I'm a huge fan. The United States Patent and Trademark Office has canceled the Washington Redskins trademark registration. Now, we're in a battle out here for defending a guy by the name of Jack Phillips, Masterpiece Bakery. I've said this 1,000 times. Anybody thinks gun control is about guns, anybody that thinks trying to force this guy to put 2 men in a tuxedo on top of a cake, Obamacare is about getting you better medical care, or now this is the Washington Redskins trademark registration. This is about power of the government and the overreach and the ongoing insanity of political correctness. You take it from there, sir.
No, I completely agree. And, the issue is not the issue when you're dealing with the progressives. It's, like you said, it's all about control. And in typical foot-stomping fashion, little fascistic Harry Reid and our Barack Hussein Obama president, as your audience know, they leaned on the U.S. Patent Office, got them to 86, the Redskins trademark registration. They can still use it, but somebody else, I guarantee, has already filed some other kind of claim to it. Because according to the wizards in Washington, it disparaged Native Americans. And, Peter, when they say Native Americans, they mean Elizabeth Warren, who claims she's an Indian because she once saw one on TV when she was 6.
Yeah, we went through that. You remember the case of Ward Churchill? Remember Ward Churchill? And my colleague.
I think Elizabeth Warren is Ward Churchill in drag.
Well, I was going to say that. Ward Churchill, he was like a Fagawi Indian, but he claimed he was an Indian. And I'd been around the guy. You talk about, the pain, but they eventually, I actually was with us yesterday on a radio show, Kevin Flynn, and without a doubt, if this guy was an Indian, I was an astronaut. And
right.
But as I said, and then this was the.
Well, it's like Hillary Clinton saying the Bible's the most influential book I've ever read.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, in Al-Qaeda and radical black lesbian feminist literature has influenced me tremendously. It's just so over the top, egregious with the left, the stupidest stuff in the world.
I agree.
You know what? They walk with it, and they can shut down the Washington Redskins trademark at the patent office to roll over on this incredible football team. The left is amazing. How this small minority of control freaks, socialistic, communistic, whatever you want to call it, control freaks, can snap their fingers and absolutely morph our country into the United States of sassy secularists. And we got to pull our head out of the backside and just do a Twisted Sister, we're not going to take it moment.
You remember Twisted Sister?
Oh, yeah. Oh. Yeah, I actually know D. Snyder. I've met him and stuff.
You know, he's a big motorcycle guy, D. Snyder. And I've met and, you know, it seems like a decent cat, man. He's a great guy.
He's been in a couple of reality shows, and, you know, minus the blue eyeshadow and
the hair.
And the Jan Brady perm or Cindy Brady perm, you know. He seems like a pretty... You know what's interesting? You know what's interesting with Obama is that he doesn't have problems with these sports teams. I don't know if you've heard about this, and these sports teams are highly offensive, at least you know to me and civil and traditional Americans. Have you heard about how he's okay with this team from Mississippi called the Creepy Ass Crackers, whose mascot is some inbred white bubba sporting a sleeveless T-shirt and 3 teeth and IQ of 50?
No, for real. I mean, we're putting it up on our website. The one that I think they're going to gun for next. By the way, give me the rest of the teams. That was great though. With the rest of them.
Yeah, there's one in California, Berkeley, I believe. It's called All Christians Suck, and their mascot happens to be a bearded drag queen that runs around the field grabbing his crotch and holding the cross upside down. Obama's fine with that one.
Wow. Well, it's like burning the American flag, or. You know, we've been over these things so many times. The burning of the American flag is considered part of free speech. And all of my biker buddies always wear that little flag patch that say, try and burn this one, and then there's a word after that. And you're absolutely right. I mean, by the way, I met D. Snyder, and he's just a good guy. He's a great guy to talk to. It's like, you know, he's a pro wrestler. He knows what he's doing. He has an image, and then there's another guy in there, and the other guy's a pretty good guy. But you're right. I mean, I come back. I'm sorry.
Here's a team, Peter, that this might shock you because we might be on the same page with Obama and him being okay with this team. It passed the Obama muster test. It's called have you ever heard of the San Francisco Sasquatches, whose mascot is a giant Michelle Obama, and she lurches out on the field like Iron Maiden's monster Eddie the Head used to do during the concert.
Oh, man.
Remember that?
I remember Eddie the Head.
Yeah, Barack was actually overheard at the San Francisco Sasquatch game last year saying, now that's some funny crap, when the mascot that's formed after Michelle strode onto the field during halftime, scaring the kids and snatching hot dogs from fans' hands.
Even I was not smart enough to feed my kids.
That is highly offensive, and yet he's cool with it.
Where's, you know, as we know, and in reading, the first person to, I don't know if you knew this or not, and not that it matters, but the first person to use the words politically correct was Trotsky. This is for real. And in how we must be politically correct in the thoughts of Lenin. Of course, we saw political correctness in the thoughts of Mao, the great helmsman. Reading De Fuhrer, you had to do that. Or you get on a list of things. You know, the emperor was God. And this is all political correct stuff. And in this country today, I believe that political correctness is one of the rails that the ultimate destruction of the nation rises and falls on. And like I said, when they can step in the door of a bakery and take this really remarkable man who just simply is his artwork, and just for the aside, because this may come up in some of your other conversations, Jack Phillips will not deny service. I mean, if you want to buy cookies, cakes, pies, muffins, he doesn't care. Come on in. Gay, straight, he doesn't care. But was to use his ability as an artist to make a cake, he said, no, I draw the line there. But he also doesn't make Halloween cakes. I mean, there's a list of things he doesn't do that offend his faith. It doesn't matter. The court here found him guilty again a second time. We've done a big fundraiser for him, and we have another one in the wings if they drop the piano on him further. But they already dropped the safe on this guy. Same thing is here. This isn't about being a Redskin. This is about the power of the government, is it not, Doug?
Yeah, no, I mean, we should be able to eat what we want, say what we want, and let the people decide without any kind of government intrusion. I mean, we could have a team called the Cincinnati Cigarette Smokers, and that's our right, damn it. Yeah. And we don't have to kowtow to this stuff. And I'm blown away that poor Mr. Phillips is fascistically, forced into this Orwellian role of you must make the cake.
Oh, I know, absolutely.
Or he's gonna be heavily fined or worse. It ain't America, man. I don't know what it is, but it's not America. And if it weren't for shows like yours, for ClashDaily.com, for the rest of the alternative media and these great pundits out there, we would be little jackbooted brown shirt droogies completely wedged up Obama's backside, or we'd be in Ted Kaczynski's shack in Lida Fart, Wyoming, eating beef jerky and stockpiling AK-47s, waiting for Apocalypse Wow to go down.
For real, I mean, the fact you even know about the droogies, too, that lights me up, too. I have a friend.
I'm a Clockwork Orange man.
Oh, we used to talk droogie. We used to talk. I actually saw this thing with Kubrick where he said that they were sitting in the. Did you ever hear that story where they got the droogie talk from? That's an interesting story. And they were in old Soviet Union. And remember they used to have those set-aside restaurants that Soviets couldn't go in, but if you were on some Potemkin tour nonsense, you could go to these nice restaurants in Moscow. And he said that these people came and stood and looked in the window, these, Russian Utes, and they were doing all this goofy, kind of mumbo-jumbo talk at him through the window, and that's where he got the droogies. And it came out of the old Soviet Union. I thought, man, wow, that's just, of course, and then the response is, well, of course it was. Where else did you think it came from? I don't know. The United States Patent and Trademark Office has canceled the Washington Redskins trademark registration. This is the power of the federal government.
Yeah, if Sterling is wrongfully recorded in the privacy of his home by his hoochie mama 29-year-old faux-breasted half-black chick that he thought he was not on being recorded and said some untoward things, and the next thing you know, they're trying to make him cough up private property. I mean, again, we should be able to be as gross as we want to be ignored if we are a tool, but we shouldn't be able to or shouldn't be forced in the violation of our Constitution to sell our private property or rename our football team or basketball team or baseball team simply because it's not an in vogue name in this oh-so-sassy political correct world of tiptoeing around tulips.
No, I can't agree with you more. I watch this stuff. You watch it, and I'm sure that you've had your ear to the ground when it comes to Common Core education. You see it again there. You see it in the media. We play this cut. I'm like and I have a friend, John Caldera, radio talk show host, and when Media Matters folded here, Caldera had a great line. He said he felt like he lost a stalker girlfriend. But I'm a stalker girlfriend of Brian Williams, and they can't say jihadi. They can't use Islamist. I'm watching them. I watched them again last night when they talked about ISIS. They can't even say who these people are. They just keep calling them radicals. And I keep saying, I wonder if they're like anti-gun people, if they're anti-abortion people. They're just radicals. And they won't even be able to say to you, these are Islamists or these are Muslim jihadis. Why do you think that? And that's national press. What do you do with that?
Well, what do you got? The majority of people are starting to en masse ignore NBC and Brian Williams. I think what I do is I ram it up people's tailpipe via ClashDaily.com that these aren't enemy combatants. They're not radicals. There's no code word, and I'm not an Islamophobic. And if I am, then so be it. But we're dealing with not a bubble-off level Muslim adherence, but just your run-of-the-mill fundamentalist Islamist that wants to liquidate the Western civilization.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it is amazing. We did it yesterday. I can do it again this morning. When you play these guys, and they are where allegedly America gets its news. I saw a piece that was in one of the trades of Brian Williams talking about how he's upset that they're losing in the Nielsen's. But it's like watching newspapers fold. I think there was a piece on Drudge the other day that there have been 249,000 jobs in the newspaper business lost in the last 3 to 5 years. Well, they're not. They try and tell you it's technology, and I try to tell them no. It's the politics. The Denver Post is a totally offensive newspaper, and they're down to, about 10 or 12 pages during the week, and you just wonder, don't they understand what's happened to them? And the same thing is true with Brian Williams. They continue to do these news stories, and they won't even tell you who. Can you imagine? I don't know. In the Second World War, just calling radical Germans. Yeah,
right.
Or
there's this group of people with severe parts in their hair that are causing all this mayhem in Europe. I mean, I
agree.
When I try to do the political correct stuff, Peter, I tie my tongue into a knot. My brain goes into freeze because I can't do this mental gymnastics. To me, crap is crap no matter how you frame it. People get it. And the reason why shows like yours, websites like mine, Fox News, to a large extent, Beck, and some of these other cats are really killing it right now because people know they're smelling a fetid pile of crap.
Sure.
And they're saying, hey, you are smelling a fetid pile of crap. That's what.
Can you stay through a break?
Yeah.
All right. This guy's great, and he's been with us before, Doug Giles. The author of Rise, Kill, and Eat, the Theology of Hunting from Genesis to Revelation. He just does good stuff. Again, I'm amazed this morning, we'll deal with this in a few moments, how squirrely you people supporting this war must be. You jump right on the bandwagon when they say a snapshot of some gas canisters. They're not even sure from where they are, what site they are, what group they are. A story appears that says, these ISIS guys found this factory full of WMDs. Now, I think it's a gambit, and I think it's a brilliant one. But do you really think? And I know that you want to believe this, and that's fine. But do you really think there's suddenly a factory full of WMDs that the United States of America somehow missed after going through Iraq for years with a fine-tooth comb, looking under every rock, spending hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars simply looking for any evidence? You have paid enough. Now, I know you want to believe this morning, and I think it's wonderful if you do. But believe me when I tell you, this is a con. The UN knew about those places. I was up late last night reading because I knew we'd have to face this on the air. That all the Bush supporters and war supporters are going to be calling. And you go back, part of the Project 922 stuff, and those places are written up. I don't know. I know that it's going to make you happy to believe it this morning, but it's not true. You want to protect your family and ensure that your estate doesn't wind up stuck in probate somewhere. You need to call John Phillips, J.R. Phillips and Associates. He's become a friend. And we talk about all kinds of things. I grew up in Mississippi, goes to law school at LSU. We talk about the Longs and growing up, and he obviously was a young guy under the he wasn't under the fish, but he was under Speedy and Earl. It's just a funny man, smart guy, kind guy. One of the main documents that John said everybody should learn about is a revocable living trust. A revocable living trust, a written agreement designating a chain of command to be responsible for managing your assets while you're alive and after death. Don't give up control over your assets because they're in a trust. Find out the difference between wills and trusts. This guy's not trying to sell you. He's trying to teach people the truth, what your options are, so you can have an educated decision. 25 years of experience with estate planning documents. They'll give you the straight scoop, no sales pitch. 303-741-2400. 303-741-2400. J.R. Phillips and Associates, they practice what they teach. 303-741-2400 today.
No stalls or accidents on your drive on the freeways in the Denver metro area. This report brought to you by Autotrader.com. Out east, though, westbound I-70 out by Deer Trail, a couple of semis got into it. Only one lane gets through there. Just be aware of it. If you're headed out to the airport, no problems to Paney Boulevard. With AutoTrader, you never have to start your search over. You can save it and pick it back up on any device. Find your perfect car whenever, wherever you want. Visit Autotrader.com today. Here in town, I-70, I-25, I-225, all running clear. I'm Darren Gabbert with your 710 KNUS First Alert Traffic.
Hello, everybody. Alan Thicke here. You know, it takes money to run a country. Your money. And that's why if you owe back taxes, the IRS might garnish your wages. They could levy your bank account, come after your home or business. But truth is, they'd rather settle for less than bother you more. So they have this brilliant program to help if you're behind on your taxes. It's called the Fresh Start Initiative. They're offering this to help you solve your tax problem once and for all. You could qualify for a settlement that's substantially less than before these changes. Nobody knows these tax relief programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Their attorneys and agents will work to get you the best possible tax settlement, and they're fully accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Don't wait till it's too late. Call Optima for your free consultation.
Call 800-711-5743. That's 800-711-5743. 800-711-5743. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey there, Dan Cicchini, owner of Done Right Kitchens and Baths, Windows and Doors. There's absolutely no reason why right now can't be your time to get started on that beautiful new kitchen or that awesome bath you've always wanted. Right, Todd?
Of course, Dad. With our unique cabinet resurfacing, they'll get that beautiful new kitchen, and without the mess and expensive replacement, and in a shorter time, too.
Boy, you've got that right, Todd. But if an all-new kitchen is on their wish list, we'll build it from the bottom up, first rate all the way. And let's not forget that very special room, the bath. What about that?
Well, hey, turning leaky, moldy, smelly baths into awesome rooms, that's what we do. Whether it's a tub-to-shower conversion or a whole new 5-piece bath, our family business will make it special, just like we've done for decades.
Okay, Todd. So, folks, give us a call and see what our family can do for your family. Kitchens, baths, counters, and floors, and even replacement windows and doors. You have our word, we'll treat you right at Done Right. 303-722-2295, 800-362-8370, or DoneRightKitchens.com.
Steve Kelly for Stephen Parks Master Goldsmith, because you deserve beautiful jewelry. Imagine a fine jewelry designer and master craftsman working directly with you to create that unique and perfect item of amazing gems in gold or platinum. You'll feel special knowing that beautiful ring, necklace, bracelet, or earrings were created just for you. The experience begins with Stephen Parks Master Goldsmith. 4 decades he's been handcrafting exquisite jewelry in Colorado, and he can do it for you. Visit him in the Wheat Ridge Center at 5800 West 38th Avenue, or visit StephenParksGoldsmith.com.
This is the Wall Street Journal Report. I'm Mike Weinstein. We usually get a break at the pumps between Memorial Day and the 4th of July, but not this year. The violence in Iraq is helping to push the average price of a gallon of regular to $3.68 across the U.S. GasBuddy.com notes that this is the most we have paid this time of year since 2008. School is out, or is about to be, for most kids in grades K through 12. Retail Me Not did a survey, and the firm's Trey Bod says that 82% of parents plan to keep their kids' brains active over the next couple of months.
The summer slide is something that happens to a lot of kids over the course of the summer. Because they're off from school and they're not thinking as actively and they're not as regimented in their schedules, they tend to lose some academic aptitude.
And since many kids spend time watching TV or playing video games, a good strategy is for parents to embrace this and to invest in apps or educational games to help stimulate those young minds. NASDAQ and S&P 500 futures are tipping higher. This is the Wall Street Journal Report.
Attention homeowners, I'm Jay Farner, president of Quicken Loans, and I have some important information for you regarding the U.S. government's Home Affordable Refinance Program, or HARP. We've told you about HARP in the past, and more than 3 million homeowners have already taken advantage of this money-saving program. But there are so many more of you who could be saving hundreds of dollars every month on your mortgage. And Quicken Loans is here to help you save your money. The home loan experts at Quicken Loans fully understand the HARP guidelines. If you weren't HARP eligible in the past, new guidelines could mean that now you are. Give us a call and we'll give you a Quicken Loans mortgage review. It's simple and easy. And for 4 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. Call 800-QUICKEN. That's 800-QUICKEN. Or go to QuickenLoans.com for a mortgage experience that's engineered to amaze.
For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance calls. For cost information, equal housing lender license in all 50 states and MLS.
Peter Boyles, News Talk 710, KNUS.
Friday morning. Good morning, everyone. 87 the high today, 52 tonight, 88 Saturday, 85 Sunday. On the radio show this morning, Sheriff Jeff Schrader's with us. Michael McGarity, he did an interview with us by phone. He was going to appear in town, and that snowstorm knocked him out. He's written a trilogy about New Mexico, and the first one was called Hard Country, and I read it. The second one is Badlands. I read that. With the third one coming, he's in town. He'll be in studio with us. The guys are here. Well, just a number of different people showing up this morning. Got calls out to a lot of people. This guy is one of the very, very best. Funny man and really spot on. Doug Giles is with us, the author of Rise, Kill and Eat, Theology of Hunting from Genesis to Revelation. We love his daughter. She's been on the radio show with us. He is a funny, funny man, but a spot-on critic, and we're talking about, as he says, the PC brown shirts strike again, and this time it is your Washington Redskins. What do you think the outcome of this is going to be? With the attack on the Redskins?
I don't know, man. I'm kind of iffy about the NFL. I'm not digging on Obama and little Keebler elf Harry Reid or the NFL much because here we've got to sit there and watch Michael Sam's lip lock with his boy toy on ESPN, and we're all supposed to go, "Oh, that's awesome! Isn't that an epic moment? Isn't this great?" Going back to your rant on political correctness, like, hey, I don't want to watch some heterosexual tool make out during the news cycle or some afternoon. If I want to watch that, I'll stay up late and turn on HBO. And here, all of a sudden, the NFL's like, you will like this, Michael Sam. It's like that's my 7:30 in the morning Nazi voice. I don't like it. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to see, just like I said, I don't want to see Liza Minnelli kiss her kind of quasi-male.
Remember that guy? Remember that guy?
Now that's a gay marriage right there, Peter. That was a gay marriage. Liza Minnelli and that David,
that guy,
whatever his name was.
That was, and then everyone. And it's like Michael Jackson's wedding. Well, when he married.
That was the most orchestrated kiss I think known to mankind when him and Lisa Presley lip locked.
I have a theory on that. As I'm sure you know, Lisa Marie is a Scientologist, and the Scientology seems to have a method to its madness. They get these kind of interesting actors, Tom Cruise, Travolta, others who have always been rumored to be gay or bisexual or getting married to straight women as a beard. And if you notice, they're Scientologists. And one of the many theories I read was Lisa Marie left her husband, a guy named Danny Keough, who was also a big-time Scientologist, and she hooked up with Michael. And they were bearding Michael because he's clearly a ped. He's a pedophile. And then what they wanted was to pull him into Scientology and then use him as a magnet to attract people into Scientology. The problem is it all blew up in their face. And if anyone thinks that Michael Jackson was straight or that Lisa Marie Presley wasn't running a scam, and that whole Scientology is so strong in Hollywood today. I'm told that a lot of the like grips and caters and lighting companies and that kind of thing dominated today by Scientology. And that was the scam. That was what Lisa Marie was all about. She was stuck in there to bring Michael Jackson into Scientology. he was just goofy enough and crazy enough that he didn't want anything to do. I mean, he was even, I guess, not crazy enough to want to become a Scientologist. And so then she beats feet.
Peter, if old numbnuts Michael Jackson was still alive and he became a Scientologist, would that be enough to drag you into the fold?
No, but that wasn't who they were shooting at.
I know.
Yeah,
I know, man, but
they
could have found some more normal cat than this guy walking around going he and grabbing his crotch and walking on his toes.
But see, and I disagree. He would be a very powerful person to recruit into Scientology. And, they offer cover. I'm convinced they offer cover to Tom Cruise. I mean, I'm totally convinced of that. And you ought to get Nicole
Kidman on the show.
And, wouldn't you love to hear her? Wouldn't you love to listen to her? And and they're ruthless. I mean, I'm on their list. We've been living off of Scientology for years. And there's a guy up in Boulder who was raided and they attempted to destroy his life, and he's become a friend. And there's enough people now that have stepped outside of Scientology and told the truth. But it's a very, very, very frightening cult, and they're more powerful than people know. But I've always believed that Lisa Marie Presley, that was trying to bring Michael Jackson into Scientology. And like I said, he was.
I noticed there's not a whole heck of a lot. You might correct me if I'm wrong. I've noticed that Scientology is really not going down in Texas because they're not buying. It's like, well, you want to do what? You're going to control what? I got to do what?
Oh. Well, as long as you know about Xenu, you're there. And that's the only religion in the world, by the way, you have to pay to get the information. Seriously, I mean, if I wanted to convert to Judaism, I'd go to Rabbi and I'd say, come on in, let's study, let's see where you go. If I wanted to become this or that. Scientology, you got to pay.
Well, I saw they're scalping tickets to Joel Osteen's mega conferences for $850 a pop.
Were they really? No fooling? Whoa, my man.
$850.
Scalpers had Joel.
Yeah. I mean, I think the tickets are already, at a buck plus, and I can't imagine. I'll pay that to go watch Eric Clapton, but Joel Osteen,
no thanks.
If I got to get a dose of Joel, I'll go to YouTube and get it for free.
So where does this end with the Skins? I mean, seriously, we're talking about this. United States Patent and Trademark Office has canceled the Washington Redskins trademark registration, calling the football team's name disparaging, that was their words, I think, to Native Americans. I don't think this has ever happened before. This is a landmark case, is it not?
Yeah, it's definitely a first, a newbie. And Peter, your guess is as good as mine. I don't know if it's going to become this lugubrious, litigious thing that people now get into this massive court battle and wrangling over our right to do whatever we want, and as long as we go through the proper procedures with the patent office, get whatever we want to call whatever we're doing trademark. But it seems like it's now got to pass the Harry Reid Obama test, and again we're seeing our country morph into something that is Euro-socialistic instead of free, And I don't know. This thing could so go both ways. It could be a knee-jerk to where the Patriots rise up and with their pitchforks and chase these bastards back into the holes in which they should dwell. Or this could be, another tipping point where this nation morphs into something that our founders warned us about.
Well, that's what I believe will happen. They're witch hunters. The politically correct are the modern day witch hunters. They go through life hunting, and we know historically that they must eventually hunt themselves. And there's where we're going to end up. And remember, if you go back into the 60s and 70s, and when the rise of the SDS and those things, they used to have these big, who was the most radical leftist, and it was called More Mao Than Thou. And what we are watching happen is who can be more politically correct than the next guy. And soon that will lead to what we've already seen, are the thought police. And we now have hate crimes, hate speech. This has been classified as a hate show. Do you see where that goes?
Yeah, but what's interesting is, again, they can lambaste and barbecue Christians conservatives, prosperous people in the private sector. They can vilify and try to shut down the Koch brothers. I mean, it's selective rage with the left always. And like I jokingly made about the teams that Obama seems to be cool with. If it's anything that's traditional, if anything that's apple pie, if it's anything that deals with the Judeo-Christian worldview and all those good, yummy male and female marriages, then all of a sudden, we're the Antichrist, we're the bad guy, and the topsy-turvy, up is down, down is up, good is evil, evil is good world of the progressive. And we've somehow got to find a way to communicate that to our progeny so that they start doing our warfares, because, Pete, you and I are getting old, man. We need the young generation to come up and kick some ass.
I'll give you the last comment, but in education today, and I try and make this case oftentimes with callers, and I'll ask somebody how old they are. And if they're over a certain age, I say, this isn't about you. I mean, if you really wade through Common Core and you look at modern culture and today's big media and a series of events, there was a wonderful book that I finished at the end of winter. It was entitled Hirohito and the Making of a Modern Japan. Very lengthy book. But it spends most of its time on how they created the deity of Hirohito. And they did it with a combination of things, but principally state-owned media, the military, Japanese education systems, the way the culture dealt with it. And they go from a time before Meiji that, the emperor is the emperor, but, he's a deity, but he's not, they kind of, you deal with the guy. He's kind of like a King George character. But by the time they're done morphing this guy, he becomes a god. And the same thing takes place in Nazi Germany. Obviously, Lenin's wife seizing the education system, the Red Guards in China. There's nothing new to any of this stuff, but it's been done, and now it's being done here. The same thing. What do you think they're teaching in the madrasas in Islamabad? What do you think they're teaching these guys? And there's where I draw my strength. But we may lose this, Doug. We very well may lose it.
I think the apathy, the jadedness, and the cynicism that's part and parcel of the Millennium generation, and how there was an egregious offensive overreach into their internet world, with also the information that Edward Snowden let us know that the NSA is consistently watching us and listening to our stuff. I think that those things, the irreverence for authority, the ability to communicate on massive scale via social media and the internet, and these kids that want people to stay out of their frickin' business, that could vie in our favor, man. I don't know if I'm ready to throw in the towel yet, but they've got to creatively become a little bit more vocal and verbal about all this incredible, egregious overreach, or they're going to be screwed forever. I'm going to be dead in heaven watching hunting videos and having angels recite Rise, Kill, and Eat, my latest book, to me as we watch videos of David kill Goliath and stuff, but they're probably going to have a rough time here.
But I still contend that, as Lenin knew, the purpose of terror was terror. The purpose of throwing a 6-year-old kid out of first grade for drawing a gun or making his finger into a gun isn't that kid. It's every other kid in the class.
Yeah.
All right, bro.
Man, Peter, if that was back in the day when I was 6 years old, I would be on death row because I always drew cowboys and Indians.
Of course,
and
we played it. We did it. I mean, we have a commercial that runs here once in a while where I'm going to jump over a little bit of time here, where this woman says, one day my son, whatever his name is, Elmo, slammed the door in my face and told me he hated me. And we had to go think that over. And I thought to myself, 1958, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, I slammed the door in my mother's face and tell her I hate her. Game's over.
Yeah, she kicked you in the next week.
Well, no, or the moment my father walked in the door. It was ace, king, high, low, jack in the game. Now, today, as my brother would say, my father would be in Western Penitentiary. They used to call it West Penn for how he treated. But you know what? We stood up when, we learned things. We Learned them the hard way, but I can't imagine ever slamming the door in my mother's face when I was in 9th grade and screaming, "I hate you," and then having her decide she needs to call some 1-800 number to get some help. All right, brother.
Yeah, that's an undisciplined, entitled generation with legal weed is more scary to me than Al-Qaeda.
Thanks, brother. We'll talk. Have a good weekend. Thank you. We go to open lines. That's Doug Giles, 303-696-1971. The big story this morning is they found the WMDs. Do you actually believe that? 303-696-1971. Do you actually believe this? These emails this morning, we'll read them to you in just a minute. Granite Transformation, it's time to redo your kitchen or your bath. It's a product you have to see to believe. Beautiful granite, mosaic, recycled glass countertops, measured, cut the fit of your existing countertops. No messy tear out of your old counters. These are heat and stain resistant, never need sealing. More important, they're affordable, can be installed in most cases in a day. Todd Dutton and the staff at Granite Transformation. It's a chance to earn your business. Call them at 303-420-8920. Here it is, 303-420-8920. You'll be so impressed. I was. Todd, and we've been to the showroom, and make sure, again, you tell them you heard it here on 710 KNUS. You make the deal, and they'll give you a free stainless steel sink and a designer faucet. You can do this two ways by calling 303-420-8920, make an appointment, have them come to your house, or do it on the Internet. Take digital pictures and send them down the line at granitetransformations.com, Denver, and you can go back and forth. They'll morph and they'll photo, and they'll do this and they'll do that. Beautiful granite measured to fit over existing counters. Affordable, installed in one day. 303-420-8920.
No stalls or accidents on your drive on the freeways in the Denver metro area. This report brought to you by autotrader.com. Out east, though, westbound I-70 out by Deer Trail, a couple of semis got into it. Only one lane gets through there. Just be aware of it. If you're headed out to the airport, no problems to Paney Boulevard. With Auto Trader, you never have to start your search over. You can save it and pick it back up on any device. Find your perfect car whenever, wherever you want. Visit autotrader.com today. Here in town, I-70, I-25, I-225, all running clear. I'm Darren Gabbert with your 710 KNUS First Alert Traffic.
So, what's your idea of America at its best? If it's Barack Obama and his agenda, never mind. If it's the heritage of liberty that we celebrate on Independence Day, listen to this. Join me, John Andrews, at Western Conservative Summit 2014 on July 18th to 20th. Speakers include Bobby Jindal, Ben Carson, Mike Lee, Tim Scott, Hugh Hewitt, K.T. McFarland, Dennis Prager, Alan West, Michelle Bachman, and many more. Don't miss the Western Conservative Summit. Reserve online at westernconservativesummit.com or by phone at 866-558-8309.
When it comes to delicious seafood, there are 3 words that really matter. Delivered fresh daily. Hi, this is Karen, owner of the Fresh Fish Company. Emphasis on fresh. Fresh quality seafood is our specialty. We feature mesquite grilling and offer Denver's largest seafood selection. Choose from over 20 varieties of fresh fish, shellfish, and mouth-watering prime ribbon steaks. Our specialties include live Maine lobsters, crab legs, and calamari, and you'll love our San Francisco-style sourdough bread. Our Black Pearl Oyster Bar hosts Denver's best happy hour, featuring 50-cent oysters and other great appetizers and drink specials. The Fresh Fish Company is the place you'll want to bring your friends, celebrate your special occasion, or just relax and enjoy the fresh in the Fresh Fish Company. Seafood delivered fresh daily. We're accepting reservations now at thefreshfishco.com. Come and enjoy seafood delivered fresh daily at the Fresh Fish Company.
In the summer, it's hot in the upstairs bedrooms most of the day. My office is up there, man, and it's sweltering. So we use one of those big fans in the evening, but it pulls in too much dust and pollen. My allergies are going crazy. So my AC is running constantly, and the only cool place in the house is the basement. My wife's starting insisting we buy a new air conditioner. And that's when I called the people at Air Swap. Air Swap showed me my furnace and air conditioner are the right size for my house, and my air conditioner was working just fine. They adjusted the ductwork, created stronger airflow to distribute all that cool air in the basement, and this even helped us save electricity. The house is more comfortable in the winter, too. They reduced the big temperature difference between the floors, and now the upstairs is comfortable during the day and early evening. Yeah, I'd call Air Swap. 303-761-0729. 303-761-0729. And you can check them out on the web at air-swap.com. air-swap.com. That's 303-761-0729 or air-swap.com. Yeah, I'm really glad I called Air Swap. Here in Colorado, we enjoy one of the best
coldest climates in the world, but those summertime storms can pop up quickly, bringing high winds, heavy rains, and even destructive hail, damaging your roof in the blink of an eye. You can't do much about the storms, but you can call Horn Brothers Roofing to repair or replace the damage that Mother Nature does to your roof. Horn Brothers Roofing. Not only are they the exclusive Colorado home of the Girard stone-coated steel roofing system, but they're also certified installers of GAF, CertainTeed, and Owens Corning roofing systems. They live here, and they'll be here to see your roof repair or replacement through, and then they will stand by their work. They are not storm chasers. They are fully licensed and insured, so you know that your investment is protected when you work with Horn Brothers Roofing. No matter what type of roof you have, residential or commercial, Horn Brothers Roofing is here for you. Call them at 303-274-1111, or you can go to their website at hornbrothersroofing.com to get additional information about their service and request a free estimate. That's 303-274-1111. With so many options, colors, and styles, Horn Brothers Roofing is the obvious choice when it comes to your roofing needs. Check them out at hornbrothersroofing.com.
I'm Jay Farner, president of Quicken Loans, and I have some important information for you regarding the U.S. government's Home Affordable Refinance Program, or HARP. Nearly 3 million homeowners have already taken advantage of this money-saving program. The home loan experts at Quicken Loans fully understand the HARP guidelines and will strive to find the financial solution that's best for you. To learn more, call 800-QUICKEN or go to quickenloans.com.
Important terms and conditions apply. Call us for cost information. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Now is the time for new flooring in your home because Lumber Liquidators has every floor on sale with the end of quarter clearance sale on right now. Get huge savings on all flooring like Quick Click pre-finished hardwood for $169 a square foot. Solid hand-scraped horizontal bamboo for $179. And this weekend only get 8mm cherry laminate for just 69 cents. So go to lumberliquidators.com to find the store nearest to you. Special 24-month financing is available. But hurry, this end of quarter clearance sale ends Monday, June 30th.
The voice of the people. Peter Boyles on News Talk 710 KNUS.
Friday morning, 87 the high today, 88 Saturday, 85 on Sunday, Monday 80, 82 on Tuesday, Friday morning, June the 20th, 2014. Bang. Website 710knus.com. It's happened here in this country where the American flag is now offensive to Muslims. Take a look at the piece. We put it up, 710knus.com. Well, I turned on our computer this morning and signed and unsigned. I felt like this was like the morning that John Mark Carr said that he murdered JonBenet Ramsey. And the calls and things that were said were unbelievable. Even colleagues at the time want to know if I was going to apologize. And of course not. John Mark Carr hasn't even been in Colorado in his life, let alone in Boulder, let alone the rest of it. That was the doing of Michael Tracy, Mary Lacey, and the rest of those ridiculous human beings. So now, a claim by Sunni extremists in Iraq, they've occupied what was once Saddam Hussein's chemical weapons production facility. I've read this stuff at great length. And that complex is there. And the State Department is now claiming this, and other government officials are claiming this. These are the Obama administration people claiming this. And they claiming it because the Sunni militants, i.e. Islamic jihadists, have said they're there. Now, this claim now means to emailers and web crawlers and others that they now have weapons. They found the weapons of mass destruction. That, and you can see that site. I can put pictures of that site up. That site has been there. The materials, these are sealed bunkers at a place called Al-Muthana, the chemical weapons complex, which is a large site in the western desert about 80 kilometers northwest of Baghdad. It was a manufacturing plant in the late 70s and 80s for sarin gas. Now, my understanding is that someone with a degree in chemistry and a little bit of money can make sarin gas. That's not a weapon of mass destruction, but it wasn't there. So the chemical weapons were produced, stored, and deployed by Saddam Hussein. We've talked about it. And in the Iran-Iraq War, which we spoke about yesterday, 1980 to 1988, both Iraqis and Iranians used it in Hibala against the Kurds in 88. But following the first Gulf War, most of Iraq's almost all of Iraq's chemical munitions were destroyed under the supervision of the UN inspectors, and the partially destroyed contents were in these 2 sealed bunkers that remain the legacy of those weapons. Now, the Sunni extremists, a.k.a. Islamic jihadists, have now taken that part of Iraq. That's all it took. I need to pound this home. I know that you may want to believe this, and that's fine. But do you know the United States and the British and others combed that country, fine-toothed that country for years and years and years and years, looking for any evidence of WMDs. And now suddenly, you really want to send me these emails and text messages, a factory full of WMDs that somehow the United States of America missed after going through Iraq for years. I can't believe you're that smart, because you're not. The taxpayers have subsidized enough. Now, I don't know what this is about, but it ain't about proving George Bush was telling the truth. It isn't about Dick Cheney telling the truth. I just want you to think this through. I know that you're all jumping up and down. They found weapons. No, they did not. Those 2 bunkers, if you would, have been there. If you read about the MOD's, the science and technology labs that were there, and most of that stuff was supplied by the Germans. When you read the reports, the materials were in these 2 sealed bunkers at the Muthana Chemical Weapons Complex, this large site in the western desert, some 80 kilometers northwest of Baghdad. It has been there. The United States knows it's there. The UN knows it's there. The British knows it's there. There's nothing in there. What there is in there is, what someone said, with a few bucks, a chemistry set, and a college degree in chemistry, you could at least, maybe, make sarin gas. But that stuff has been there. This is distracting, and I don't quite figure out what we're watching happen. But they, and even the folks who want to champion this, say they may have access to a production facility in Iraq. They may have have access to a production facility. Guys, there's no WMDs. I know that you want to believe that, but what I'm finding fascinating is, well, let us let it go with that. They did not find weapons of mass destruction. We'll take your calls. I'd love to talk to you about it. Please sign your emails. I'll read some of them for you on the other side.